this, I didn't notice something. So I got a couple of calls and said, you know what, domestic violence is in the miscellaneous topic. Well, I thought they saved the best for last, or maybe we don't want to talk about it, right? So this is not a miscellaneous issue. The perception to keep it miscellaneous is an attempt to maybe say, let's just sweep it under the rug. And we have a couple of counselors here, so if please don't take offense to this, but I'm a straight up person. Patanjali knows me. We can't sweep it under the rug. You know why? Because there's blood and a dead body under that rug from a victim who has been killed by someone they love. Okay, so we can't put it on the rug, so we put it on the mattress. You know, they hide money under the mattress? Well, there's another dead body there. Recently, Samantha Sila. Stripped naked, hand-bound, tied, killed, placed under a mattress. The other day, not long after that, that woman in Jersey, that was killed and burned, set on fire. There are 2 cases here in New York. Let me start out. I want to do a couple of things. Domestic violence, I want to give you a couple of facts real quick. 85% of domestic violence are women. 1/3 of all female homicide they're killed by someone, a domestic partner. I have a lot of these, and I'm not going to read through them. I've placed at both Mondays, Panditji, I spoke to you this morning, a lot of this material, statistics and information, such as these cards from the District Attorney's Office of an Agent for the New York State Domestic Violence Division. They're out in front in the lobby. Please grab them as you go. So I'm not going to go through the stats. I want to get to the most important part of this. Understanding abuse. How many of you seen this before? Anand, what is it? Power and control wheel, right? When I was getting abused, I thought I was the only one. My case was special. I couldn't tell anybody because they wouldn't understand. But once I started talking, guess what? My case isn't different. They're all the same. Abusers act exactly the same. It doesn't matter if I'm black, blue, green, Indian, Christian, Hindu, Muslims. Abusers behave. So I'm going to pick a couple from the power and control wheel. Using children. When we say we can't leave an abuser, the children's going to suffer. Well, you can't leave because we can't have both the separate parents. Well, we're doing a disservice by having our children with this domestic violence. We heard our keynote speaker says, whatever the children learn in the home, they will go out in society and they will repeat it. There's a famous study done in the 60s called See Aggression, Do Aggression. And if you've had a time, Google it, says See Aggression, Do Aggression. When a child sees aggression in the home, they will repeat it a high percentage. 93% of the boys incarcerated in prison are victims of domestic violence. Boys tend to repeat the behaviors of their fathers. Hands down. That's statistically an unknown fact. I'm not going to talk much more about that. So how can we break the cycle? I want to spend the last 3 to 4 minutes just talking, how can we break the cycle? This is not a one-time conference that I can stand here in 15 minutes and tell you to break it, but I'm going to go through fairly quickly. It takes a country, and I want to read this, make sure I didn't miss it. I spent a lot of time on this one slide. It takes a country willing to accept that abuse is a serious problem. It takes a community that is open to ideas, just like this fellowship. It takes people who can feel the pain of a family's cry. Until domestic violence knocks on your door, it's somebody else's issue. Well, guess what? In the U.S., it costs $5.8 billion a year to fight domestic violence. 4.1 is direct medical cost to the victim. It takes a friend who reaches for the hand of a victim. It takes a family member to hold the victims in acceptance. My family, my sister sitting right there. I have lots of brothers and family here. I didn't think I'd get their support, but guess what? They didn't ask me, they didn't judge me. They were there for me, and we need to be there for our brothers and sisters. First thing, some of the steps to recovery that I will share with you. There's a 10-step again. These cards are out there. Please feel free to grab them. I'm just going to go through a couple of steps. First thing, I had to accept and come out of denial. I had to accept that I deserve to be treated better. I had to stop protecting the abuser and lie for the person that was abusing me. I have to now continue to share my courage, strength, and hope with others so that I can then hold the hand of another victim. They can hold the hand of another victim, and love, multiplication, and math, you can all figure that out. Some of the signs, again, on the front of this card, there are many, many signs. I'm not making this up. These are known signs. Jekyll and Hyde personality. You guys have heard that, Jekyll and Hyde. When doors close and you're behind that door with an abuser, they're a different person. When that door opens and that abuser is in public, guess what? They're the nicest person you ever met. Because they have something to hide. They don't want people to know who they are. When I told my family he was an abuser, they're like, you sure? Have you been drinking? I said, no, I did that too, and it didn't help. So, how can I help? Each of you sitting here, each of you have a fiduciary responsibility, because it could be your brother, your mother, your father. Men are getting abused too, but guess what? They don't want to talk. They shame. But guess what? If you don't break the silence, guys, all right, you're going to continue to get abused. And some of the women, if you beat up on your husband, be careful. We're watching. Don't be afraid to let a victim know you are concerned for their safety, please. Acknowledge that they're in a difficult situation. Don't say, because you're educated. Look, my friend Mala, met her 3 years ago. She's also a CPA. She's a CPA here in New York. She's a survivor. She has 2 little kids, 2 beautiful girls. Education has nothing to do with it. Abuse does not discriminate. Be supportive. Be non-judgmental. Don't sweep it under the rug. Don't say, listen, every marriage get a little pitter-patter, just go back. You know what? You may never see that person alive again. Local help. These little cards come from Safe Horizon. They are in the Queens Family Justice Center. Again, myself and my colleague Diane Madre, who's instrumental in promoting this across the U.S. Queens Family Justice Center offers an array of services here. Please pick up a brochure as you walk out the door. They're local. The national hotline. If you know someone experiencing abuse, please don't turn and go the other way. Samantha Silal, how many of you knew about her murder probably about 6 weeks ago? Unofficially, I heard through the DA's office, well, the neighbors knew that there was something going on. Well, if you're a neighbor and you hear your neighbors getting beaten, don't go back to sleep. It's like, oh, it's their problem. Guess what? That woman was dead. People knew she was getting abused, but nobody said anything. That is sad. That is very, very, very sad. Anybody heard of the